See the Cancer rising ascendants. Cancer rising. Their personality, personal affairs, and personal interests is predicated towards their home, their family, and of course, their emotional perspectives. They're very nurturing, caring, and of course, loving. These individuals, they're going to go out their way to also protect you if they truly love you. And of course, Cancer is the strongest zodiac sign in the motherfucking building. Of course, this is a circumstance situation where they are very traditional when it comes to home. And of course, they take these things very serious. Their privacy, their safety, and comfortability is key to them. And of course, if you bring in the wrong keys to their area, they're going to put up their crab guard. And of course, they're going to crab your ass, claw your ass. Of course, that's how they protect themselves. And they take their personality, it takes them a little bit of time to actually open up to an individual. They got to basically feel you. They got to feel out the situation. I mean, they don't care about what you're thinking about. They don't care about what you're talking about. They're going to feel where that shit coming from. And their personality is predicated towards feeling. They got to feel you. So if they ain't feeling you, because you know this is the water, same fire, or visions, is intellect, negative communication. Earth is practicality for me, getting serious, down to earth. But water is basically predicated towards emotional connection. Of course, if that emotional connection not there, then they're going to pretty much put their guard up. But when it comes to their personality, that's what they pretty much are indulged to. Now, when it comes to the things that they value the way they express themselves, they value their ego, their creativity, and of course, their passion. Of course, they want to be loved and babied. And of course, they value all the attention they get because you giving them attention, they feel good about this shit. They feel that they can basically connect with you and have an emotional connection. Also, please on a good perspective, but don't get it twisted. Don't use these people. Don't use these individuals. I mean, they're very sweetheart, and of course, they hate when people, places, and things try to take their kindness for weakness. They're very big-hearted, of course. The moon is very serious, so these people take these things very serious as far as when it comes to that connection and that bond and things of that matter. They just gotta have a little bit more passion. Try not to be afraid and shit. For me, express yourself on the stage. Don't go close in all the time. For me, you gotta use a little passion, use a little motivation. For me, and everything will be alright. For me, you got Jupiter exalted here, so their experiences and their morals and their principles, they take these very serious. Also, they are pretty much predicated. Also got Pisces that's exalted there too. So they put up their love, their heart, and of course bend over backwards for people that they can actually relate to and connect with, and things that matter. And when it comes to Cancer's surroundings and shit, see, this is a circumstance situation where, like, when it comes to their surroundings, they put a whole lot of awareness towards paying attention to things, filling out situations, circumstances, and of course, this can basically bring hypochondria because, of course, they're picking up other people's vibes, other people's energies, and of course, they like to interact with the public, but only if it's a routine where they can have a foundation that they can connect with somebody on a broad perspective. They don't like putting themselves in the public or in the open. For me, it takes them very time. They gotta look at the details before they actually can connect with you and things that matter and shit like that. So it takes them very time. Of course, they are very more prone to filling out the situation before they taking heed to things. For me, like, that's when it comes to their surroundings. For me, they pick up a whole lot of pickups of anxiety, emotional terror, and things that matter. Like, they go through a whole lot of mental chaos. Like, their heart is racing when they get into the public and shit like that. When it comes to being individuals or socializing and things that matter, they always gotta look at the details before they get safety and secure with things. And of course, they take the surroundings serious and shit like that. Also, with the Cancer risings, see, when it comes to home matters, family traditions, they go through a lot of conflict there. And also they, with their personality, they take on a whole lot of responsibilities also. For me, it could be a whole lot of hardships. And of course, the way they was presented or brought up is pretty much put into a position how they should judge themselves on how they look inside of themselves versus the outside world. Of course, they got a lot of basically just, have hope, have faith. I mean, everybody, just because they have a certain appearance and a certain procedure, that don't mean that this person is like that truly deep down inside. So it takes them some time to basically actually relate in this perspective when it comes to their families and the way they connect with the people of that matter and shit like that. Like, they take family very serious. Like, they really bend over backwards for their family and shit like that. Like, they just love their family. For me, They go to the extremes and shit. And of course, they don't really be wanting anything in return. If they do, then, you know, that's the connection, that's the balance that they look after. But of course, if they feel that they was giving out way too much and someone wasn't returning this in the favor, then of course they're gonna put up the blockage, and they're gonna basically cut that shit off. For me, cut off. For me, they are like the Christmas tree, and of course they got all the gifts and the presents now, how they can basically nurture you. But if they feel that you're not bringing that connection within them and shit, they're gonna basically take the plug out of the tree, and of course your ass ain't gonna be lighting up no more. Feel me? They're gonna go into their darkness, which they score a for Scorpio. Also, with this perspective here, see, they love to express themselves behind the scenes. They don't like to basically express themselves in the open. For me, they like to run away, retreat, go in their room, go into their private zone, of course, come up with all kind of deep thoughts or dark thoughts at times and shit. Sometimes it can be some dark thoughts that they fight in the force, and it be so heavy that it's like they gotta separate. For me, they gotta like have a way of facing their big heart and the way they do things and shit. So like their heart is big, so it takes them time to basically connect with all these emotional traumas that they basically feel. And sometimes these traumas not even theirs. They just been picking up other people's energy. Sometimes you touch certain doors, walk in certain areas and shit, you pick up certain vibes and energies and shit. You wonder why you feeling like this. You be like, wait, hold on, I wasn't feeling like this before. That's a Cancer for me every second. For me, the moon is rotating just like that. So you got to bear with a Cancer when it comes to the way they express themselves and their creativity. For me, they like to keep these things secret. They don't like to show or express what they're doing behind the scenes. For me, that's how they play their little manipulation game too at times, their little energies. But it's cool. We love a Cancer. You can't manifest without a Cancer. If you ain't got a moon or a persona, you ain't manifesting. You ain't just got a sun sign. Even though we ain't Leo season, but we ain't just got a motherfucking sun sign. But that's how they get down. And when it comes to things that they pay attention to and shit like that, they love to pay attention to a whole lot of experiences, a whole lot of expansion and growth at times and shit, things that matter. For me, they very detail oriented when it comes to looking at the details of philosophies too, because you remember you got Jupiter exalted here, so they go to extremes with morals, principles, and what's right and what's wrong and shit. The things that matter for me, they pay a whole lot of attention to these things too. I mean, they love to put the details and the practicality in these areas and shit like that too. So yeah, that's how they connect on that level. And then when it comes to, you know, their relationships and how they relate with people, or basically people, places, things, and partnerships in general, like they have a very hard time of trusting and opening up with people, because, you know, if they had traumas or past traumas and situations that have put them in scenarios where they can't trust or feel or to connect with people anymore, this is what's going to bring the turmoil against them on how they relate with people. So it's going to be a certain situation where if they was hurt or put into bad areas that they was comfortable with, then they'll pretty much seclude themselves and separate from people and not open up to people at times and shit. But yeah, it's just, you know, when they face hard reality or hard facts about things, they kind of like brush them off on how they relate or connect or trust people in general, for me. And if they think too much about the past, pretty much broaden their perspectives and bring a little bit more lightness into the situation, and it's going to basically block them from actually manifesting. Also, when it comes to when it comes to behind the scenes and shit, they go through a lot of power control issues when it comes to the public and the world and shit. Like certain shit shouldn't be for Cancer eyes, even though, you know, they're gonna experience regardless. But they go through a lot of transformation energies when it comes to the public and shit that matter. For me, like they transform, the emotions transform like that. For me, and it's very deep there too. For me, it's very deep and chaotic in that position. For me, they just gotta learn how to open up to the public at times. For me, learn how to like not just allow these energies to control you throughout the day and shit. For me, it's like one second it can be good, of course the next second is a different perspective, because, you know, when they get out there in the public and shit, they're giving their all and they're experiencing what's going on behind the scenes. So it's kind of like, goddamn, like what the fuck. Like, I was just feeling good. As soon as I come outside, boom. It's like, as soon as y'all come outside, I get hit with some shit. And it's like, goddamn, it's heavy. It's like, yo, I gotta go back home. That's why they love home. They just can't. They don't like being in the public. For me, they take safety and caution very serious. Also, they go through a whole lot of experiences when they dreaming. Though these motherfuckers can dream. These cancerrising, best to believe they can motherfucking dream. For me, they dream big. For me, and of course, when they dreaming, they love to separate. For me, they love to expand when it comes to their dreams, and they got big dreams too. For me, these people's dreams are very vividly, and of course, they connect deeply on their dreams. For me, part to their ancestors too, deep connections. For me, they love to travel the world, of course. Got Jupiter and Pisces here too, so that's just more of expanding your emotional core and things of that matter. And of course, yeah, they very, very highly intuitive. And of course, they can basically pick up on a lot of people's energies and pick up on a whole lot of vibes and shit. So yeah, these people are very powerful and shit. Like, they very out there for me. Like, they just out there for me. Like, these people are very gifted for me. Like, that's why I say you need a Cancer, you better get you and shit like that. Now, when it comes to the status and the career and the goals and shit, I mean, they gotta learn how to, like, be a little bit more selfish at times, feel me? Believe in what you have. Like, feel me? You just gotta be a little bit more passionate, feel me? Use a little bit more fiery action, feel me? Try not to put all your eggs into one basket, aka don't put all your eggs into somebody else's basket by basically cleaning it or wiping their ass all the time. Sometimes you gotta be like, yo, motherfucker, I took care of you today. You gotta learn how to basically play the part of yourself. You can't just basically be out there giving your all to people at times because it basically throw you off. So you gotta learn how to have an equilibrium and balance in this perspective. I mean, you may go to the extreme. They go to the extremes when it comes to the career and their status and what they're known for too. So, and of course, that's this state personality. But they gotta learn how to, like, be more passionate. Of course, try not to put themselves in situations of not having what it takes to make it in life. You have what it takes for you, the moon. What you doing? What's going on? For me, yeah, I gotta learn how to be out there and shit. And then when it comes to dealing with the public in general, again, these motherfuckers, they have been over backwards for me. And of course, they'll like do certain, they'll wipe your ass and throw away the shit. Knowing that you can walk, they'll wipe your ass and still throw away the wipes and the things that matter. These people come out their pocket for you, work real hard for you, connect with you, and help you out with tasks and projects and shit, and not expect nothing in return. And that's just a Cancer for you. For me, they cancerizing for you. They really do that shit for me. They really, really motherfucking do that shit. Like, it's like they don't know what the word return means. And of course, this put them in certain damn fucking just gotta go.